joined by Greg Beatty, coming to us from Bangkok, Thailand. Is, of course, a gain advisor, an advisor for TCC Assets, as well as a consultant and an author. Why don't you tell us about yourself? Tell us about your work history, Greg.
Thanks, Jason. I suppose if I had to do a business tagline, it would be a business executive with a law degree. Now, the law degree I earned at New England School of Law in Boston, while also working at the state treasury there, and also playing ice hockey for the Boston Bruins Old Timers. And I should point out quickly that I never played for the Bruins, the professional team, but I did have a lot of friends who played there. And the Old Timers are made up of the retirees from the Bruins, and they needed a goalie. And I've been a goalie since I was 7 years old, growing up playing hockey between the snowbanks of Canada. So I was in the right place at the right time. I ended up playing for them for about 5 years. Now, the executive experience has been the sweat and tears of working overseas for slightly over 30 years. Most of that has been in Thailand. I initially came over working with a U.S. law firm called Baker McKenzie, whose headquarters are in Chicago, but they have a Bangkok office here. So I worked for about 2.5 years with them. One of their clients was a U.S. company called Verizon, which I'm sure you know. And they had several joint venture projects around Asia. So I was fortunate to work for Verizon for about, I think, 7 years, all over the region. And I suppose I should dovetail into hospitality because I think that's the focus here. I ended up working with a Japanese company called DOCOMO interTouch, which provides technology solutions to hotels around the world, outside of the US and Canada, that is. So our focus was Hyatts and Hiltons and Marriotts. At our peak, we had about 1,200 hotels throughout Asia and the Middle East and Africa. I started at that company as the legal counsel and then migrated into management, various management positions, rising up to the level of COO. So I was moved around from Singapore and Dubai, covering about 60 countries, 1,000 employees. And I think I visited every one of them, usually in the back seat of the plane in the economy section. So I did it the hard way. But that was my foray into DOCOMO interTouch and the hospitality industry. Most recently, as you alluded to in the introduction, I've worked with TCC Assets, which is a Thailand company which is owned by a billionaire family. And one of their big projects here is called One Bangkok, which is a mixed-use development, smart city project, which is still under development. It should be completed by the end of this year. It consists of 5 hotels, 4 office towers and residential towers, and 600 retail units. And the 2 hotels that have been nominated so far are the Ritz-Carlton and the Hyatt Andaz. And I wrote a lot of the smart city contracts for them. So I mean that's 30 years in about 3 minutes. So.
Well, what led you to join Gain? What was the interest there?
Well, the short answer would be Michael Cohen asked me. And I've known Michael for several years, and I know his leadership style, and I wanted to be a part of that and be a part of the team that he puts together, along with David Malili. So it was really because he asked me to. In addition to that, I do like the concept of a network of handpicked professionals around the world whose skill sets and experience and local contacts can be leveraged. I wanted to contribute to that team effort, and also learn from my colleagues in Gain. So it's an opportunity to contribute as well as continue my learning.
So, what can Gain clients expect from Greg?
I think initially a lot of questions. I'll come up with a barrage of questions because I want to know, who the client is, what it is they want to do, why do they want to do it. Presumably, it's about looking for growth. And the other end of that spectrum would be for me to find out what is their risk tolerance and attitude towards risk, because I look at it from both perspectives. There's growth, but there's also risk that comes along with that. You can't eliminate it. You have to manage it. So
very, very lawyerly of you.
Yeah, well, I've done a lot of corporate governance, and of course, writing thousands of contracts. So I've got the legal experience of writing them, but also implementing them as well. And I know the ticking time bombs that are out there. So I take that holistic approach myself within my little scope of work. Secondly, I guess once I would be engaged in a project, it would be being accountable for my deliverables. So in sum, a lot of questions. And then the acceptance of accountability.
Well, very good, Greg. It was good to spend time with you.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Jason. Have a good day.